assistant. Yes.
I have a question. If Georgian citizen lives in Europe, is she eligible to apply this fellowship project?
Even if he doesn't, even if the Georgian citizen does't live in Europe, because now Georgian is an associate partner. So
if she lives in Europe legally, is she yes, yeah?
Yeah, but I say even if she doesn't live in Europe,
yeah, okay.
even if the Georgian researcher lives in Brazil,
yeah,
still eligible.
Okay.
So it's not a matter of where you live; it's a matter of where you go.
Thank you.
And it's not a matter of what is your citizenship. The only difference between before and now is that just Georgia can host. So physically, people can come here. Before they couldn't come. Or before they could come, if I had an agreement and say, in the frame of my fellowship, I want to spend some months in Georgia, and you explain why, and then you would get it. But legally, you will be depending on it. Now, people can be legally depending on Georgia, on the Georgian institution. What is perhaps more interesting is and for the Marie Curie, you don't need to have a doctorate. I mean, there is this understanding which is there is an equivalent of a doctor. So you have, it's 4 years of research experience. So because a PhD in general, in average, is 4 years of research experience, if you have 4 years that are documented after your master's degree, or after they call the last eligible degree that allows you entering a doctoral program. So in some places, legally, you don't have to be a master to enter a PhD. Even in the UK or in Italy, you don't need to have a master. You can just move from with the old system, you can move from BA into PhD. If you have 4 years of research, maybe you don't have a PhD, you've been working as a PhD student, and working also as a researcher somewhere for more than 4 years, you are eligible for a postdoc. Actually, it was my case. I got my postdoc before getting my PhD. Because I had 6 years of experience. I was working and doing my PhD, so I could easily document the fact that I was a researcher with more than 4 years of experience, and I was accepted. Or you have a PhD. Even if you got your PhD in 3 years, doesn't matter. If you got a PhD in 1 year, doesn't matter. But then it's the degree. So either the piece of paper or 4 years of experience. And then the Marie Curie is not just individual. The most interesting part is possibly the collective one. The collective ones is mostly, you have co-fund, which should be very interesting to Rustavelli actually, to show Rustavelli, because it allows you to get money. Or the co-fund is also for a university which has a good budget. Co-fund means I already have a budget for research. I already have a budget for scholarships. I deliver 10 scholarships every year. I kind of grant 10 scholarships every year. Now I want to be able to grant 20 scholarships every year. So it's co-funded. Or I want to give a better salary. So I know that my PhD scholarship is not very good. I want to become more competitive. I want to attract people. So I want to offer more money. So you just top up what you already have. And then you apply co-fund, and you will be able to fund more things. But that's mostly for foundations or for big universities that have their own funding program. And it's the only Marie Curie that is co-funded, because the individual fellowship, they are funded 100% and more. The collective ones as well. Now the collective ones are mostly, there used to be 3, now we have 2, because one was not very competitive, so they merged 2. One is the innovative training network. So you commit yourself to two things. One is to create a doctoral, it's around the doctoral degree, so you hire doctoral students. You commit yourself to find 5, 6 other universities, and you get funding for up to 15 PhD students for 3 years. And you can promise 3 things. You can promise either that you're going to deliver a PhD, and there's going to be a joint degree. So the joint degree between one university and the other. Or that you're just going to train those people. You're not necessarily getting a PhD, you're just going to get those people for 3 years. What happens is that if you have a junior researcher for 3 years, if you award a PhD, it's actually better for you and for them. And the last thing is you commit yourself, instead of doing this, having a PhD between a university and a private company. So you say, maybe in medicine, I want this person to spend 18 months in the university to learn all the theory, but they also go into the private company and they learn kind of applied research. So you do this, and you have, I mean, it's actually lots of money. So an ITN with 15 PhD students is funded at between 3 and 4 million euros. You have one coordinator, and you have 4, 5, 6, whatever partners you have, and you can have associate partners.
What is the role of associate partners?
The associate partners, they just complement the network. Like in my case, it was, I mean, I did it in two different ways. One is we don't use any private companies, but we want students to spend 1, 2, 3 months as a guest researcher within a private partner. So to apply the knowledge and to learn how they can use how to learn something which is beyond academia. So I'm sending them to partners that are not necessarily work with academic goals. Then I was saying the academic publisher. So it's about management. It's not about academia. News. I mean, if you know Transitions, the website, go in there. Or consultancies, or companies that use research for marketing for companies. Somebody says, I want to enter the Kyrgyz market. Can you do research about how feasible this is? Then you have the that's for adult. In this case, you need the main beneficiary, and the other person, they're going to get money as well. The associate partner will not going to get them. But now they're called beneficiaries and partners. The other schemes, which is also very interesting, there used to be two schemes. One is to exchange researchers, not necessarily students. I mean, for the innovative training network, the person has to be junior. It used to be the case that you have junior and postdoc, but now you only have junior, which means less than 4 years of experience. With PhD, we know actually you could even hire somebody who's already a PhD student and start a new PhD there. Or you could actually create apply and say, I don't want to award PhD students, I don't want to award PhD degrees. I just want to have guest PhD students from those universities. And they just spend here 3 months, 4 months, 5 months. But it's kind of the junior level. The other scheme is, we want to exchange researchers, whatever level. There could be PhD students, there could be postdoc, there could be professors, there could be director, between EU universities and non-EU universities. They used to be the case. Or the other scheme was between universities and private partners. Actually, because this is really no, I just finished this. So what happens is they merged those two because the one within EU and non-EU was becoming not very competitive. I know there was a year where anyone who passed, who kind of passed, got the money. There was no reserve list. And then they say, okay, we have to become more competitive, so they merged and they make you more competitive. They offer more money now. And now the scheme is, you apply from an EU or associate partner to send people either to a non-EU university or to an EU non-academic partner, or even to a non-EU non-academic partner. The important thing is that you exchange between sectors or between regions. And this is not, the difference between this one and Erasmus is that there is no teaching responsibility. You're not going there to teach. You're going there just to get training and to implement a research program. So you do research. It's only research based. Of course, you can teach, you can deliver seminars if you want, so on. But the main thing is that you go there and you get trained. So those are the main kind of schemes. I think it's now better to break. just one thing, Diana there and Center for Social Science, they are an associate partner in one doctoral consortium, ITN, Marie Curie. And I also invited them into an application for this EU, non-EU. We didn't get the money, so, but that's a starting point if you want to ask her things. I mean, not just me. So for the coffee break, we were also thinking that, I don't know how many of you know each other, but you could also, I mean, we could do a first networking exercise, because maybe sharing experiences and sharing competencies could also be a useful thing. Keep in mind that interdisciplinary is very welcome, at least officially, by the Horizon 2020. So the fact that you can match history and medicine or whatever science is very well seen. It's very well regarded. So it's not, don't limit yourself to say, okay, this is my field and so on. But if you could start, if you could start thinking what kind of projects you would like either yourself or your staff to work on. Okay, we haven't exhausted yet all the but at least starting with an idea. Because we're going to have another exercise tomorrow when you're going to have a better understanding of the problem. But if you just start thinking about what you want to do, and if you could just start discussing informally, is this possible, can we try it this way or not? I'm not giving you any scheme now because I just want you to relax for a while. But keep in mind that this was thought also as a way to, as a chance to talk to other people you would not meet in daily life because we are also busy. So we break now, and we come back in half hour. Yeah. So just do your homework, please.